Ah, I feel it, I feel it, I feel it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming out, everybody. I really appreciate it. Okay, so our first guest is the executive director at the Metropolitan Gallery here in Las Vegas. Please give it up for Mark Rowling.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming out, player.
Good to see you, Preston. What a crowd.
Yeah, man.
What a wonderful group of people, I'm
you
telling
know?
you.
Yeah, you know. Thank you for coming out, Mr. Mark. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you are the executive director at the Metropolitan Gallery.
Yes, the Metropolitan Gallery is actually the largest art exhibition facility in Las Vegas.
Right.
We're on the second floor of the Neonopolis building at Fremont Street in Las
450
Vegas.
Fremont Street, Suite 270.
Correct.
Yep. Second floor upstairs, across the street. And the days that y'all open is get this right. Wednesday to Saturday, 5 p.m.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Wednesday through Saturday from noon till 5 o'clock p.m. What we really are is a showcase gallery. Inside the space that we have, which is fairly large, we're 17,500 square feet. We feature over 400 paintings and probably about 60 different sculptures. Some of them from Las Vegas, some of them for all the great artists that actually live in Las Vegas. The downtown people that exhibit in the museum, plus people from all over the world. We do a show every year, which is called the International Contemporary Masters,
Right.
which actually is formed by a group in California where they've contacted a lot of artists from all different countries, and they produce a book where they actually show their things in this publication. And the museum performs a service for this group in a way of giving them an exhibition once a year.
Right.
And of course, they pay for the exhibition, so,
Right.
you know, who's kidding who, you know?
So the original name, though, was the Southern Nevada Museum of Fine Arts. Why the change?
Well, the name was really long, for starters. Southern Nevada Museum of Fine Art, when you start to type that out a few times, you start to realize that it's very lengthy. It also put us alphabetically at the bottom of all the cultural events that were in Las Vegas.
Right.
In addition to that, though, the real reason for it was we wanted it to identify more with the city of Las Vegas. I mean, we have the Metropolitan Police Department in Las Vegas, and we are a downtown museum.
Right.
So the word metropolitan made a lot of sense to us. And also, we wanted to brand it with Las Vegas, so we became the Metropolitan Gallery Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But like a lot of other museums throughout the country and even overseas, a lot of people have said to me, why don't you have the name Art Museum
Right.
in the title? And if you compare it to other places, in London, there's the National Gallery, there's the Tate Gallery. In Chicago, where I'm originally from, there's the Art Institute of Chicago. Okay?
Chi-town.
So we have a lot of Chicagoans and a lot of New Yorkers living in Vegas. And what happens with a lot of these people from the big cities is when they finally get to Vegas, after they've been here for a couple of years and it's all the glitz and the glamour and the gambling and everything else that really attracted them, they start to miss some things from back home. And one of them is a cultural component.
Right.
They used to visit the big museums,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Chicago, Chicago Art Institute, the Field Museum in Chicago, the Whitney Museum in New York.
Right.
And they really need their museum fix, okay? On those nice, cool mornings, they like to pick up some coffee, walk to the museum,
Right.
browse around, have a good time, and get some stimulation out of
Yeah.
it.
How long have the art gallery been open?
Well, actually, the Southern Nevada Museum of Fine Art was actually founded 8 years ago. It operated for 6 years under the direction of Joseph Palermo, who was the director. And he was also a very good friend of mine. He was one of the first people that I met in Vegas when I came from Chicago. And Joseph Palermo, unfortunately, got sick and passed away. And when that happened, I asked him, I said, what's going to happen to the museum? And he says, well, I don't know. He says, it's been a struggle, and downtown is tough, and maybe this isn't really an art community. I said, listen, I said, you've done all this work. I said, we need to continue it, and we need to build on it.
Right.
And that's what we've done. So thank you.
Yeah.
So over the last 2.5 years, I've been director, and
Right.
we've had some fabulous shows. The very first one, which is one that I recommended to the previous director, which was the Anne Frank show.
Yeah.
Because we have so many powerful people in Las Vegas that are Jewish.
Right.
What I mean is the casino owners, the mayor is Jewish, there are many Congress people that are Jewish. So it isn't that this is a Jewish town, it represents everybody.
Right.
We're probably one of the most diverse small cities on the planet.
And how long have you been the executive director?
For 2.5 years.
2.5 years?
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course the facility, because of the former director becoming ill, the facility was really in a severe state of decay.
Right.
So it took at least the first year just to sort of rebuild it and reinvigorate it and bring in new art, bring in new artists,
Right.
and also to help support the community in a way that really makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So the museum now has abandoned its old name, which is the Southern Nevada Museum of Fine Art, and we are now the Metropolitan Gallery, Las Vegas.
Nice.
Thank you. But anyway, part of the reason for that was too is that we didn't want to be defined as being there to exhibit only fine art.
Yeah.
We wanted things which were broad. We wanted cultural component,
Yeah.
ethnic art. We wanted African art.
Yeah. When I came Tuesday, just to meet, just to see how the gallery was, which is very amazing. It's very big. A lot of people really don't know it until they get there, except for the
Yeah.
people that's already part of it, that's have memberships though. But I saw there was a lot of sculptures.
There's a lot of sculpture.
Can you tell me the
And
history behind the sculptures and how much that you have?
well, right now we're featuring an artist called Renzo, which by the way happens to live in Las Vegas, although he doesn't show in any of the galleries.
Right.
And if you check out our website, which is www.mglv.org, you'll see some of these things that are there. But the gallery or museum in this particular case is really an educational experience.
Right.
And we get a number of the schools that come in. In fact, we just had one in today. But the Edelson School has been in when we had the Jewish exhibit, the Anne Frank. And some of the exhibitions that we brought in from Israel and from New York for the Jewish event is our very first one. It also expanded out. And what we ended up with was the museum got leased
Yeah.
so that people from the local JCC and APAC, which is a American Israeli Action Committee in Washington, D.C., actually flew people out to the museum
Yep.
to see the exhibit.
Yeah.
So we're bringing in other people. And the museum staff is, like you folks here, is all voluntary.
Right.
And so nobody gets paid, but they're doing what they love to do.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of it.
Sometimes the best stuff, even for your life, is when money's not involved. That's, people don't
Exactly.
really know about that. But so many life factors kick in too. So
Yeah.
people got to make tough decisions. But you was talking about the exhibit. How many different exhibits do you do a year?
Well,
I know they're so major.
we have VIP events, which are for members only, and that's usually when a big show is going to open up.
Right.
And we have about 4 or 5 of those a year. And they're usually themed as a historical exhibition or one that's part of popular culture.
Right.
And we try to do a balance between exhibitors that come from outside of Las Vegas, but also we try to make sure that we include the businesses and other wonderful things that Las Vegas has uniquely
Yeah.
to offer to the arts.
So on an average for your exhibit, how many people usually show up?
We usually get anywhere between 300 and 500
Yeah.
on that night. And we only have a capacity of 1,000
Yeah.
people.
So when all those people come up, it's basically more of experience for them. It's just not just they just going there to see art, different cultures. But you were saying that a lot of celebrities, a lot of artists that have paintings there also come too, which people can also take photos with them and interact with them to really get their perspective on how the art was made.
Exactly. The membership, when they come to an event, usually the artists are there. And they're fairly famous artists like Renzo. We've also done celebrity events before, not at this facility, but I used to do gallery events with Ronnie Wood of the Rolling Stones. And we've done them with sports celebrities, with Michael Jordan before, and Muhammad Ali. I used to be a printmaker in Chicago before I became a museum director. And I used to do all the limited edition.
Too, right?
Right.
Father, fam, you know.
Yeah, I'm third generation in the art business, so we're kind of lifers about this, you know. And I know most of you probably in your families, you have a history of working in one particular field. But the apple usually doesn't fall that far from the tree, so.
Yeah, how do you see the art from when you was younger to now how it is now today?
Well, today, I mean, it's all going digital. I mean, it's amazing. When you take a look, I mean, I've been in this industry for over 40 years, and it used to be when even it affects the artists themselves. They used to take and graph off a canvas, and they used to take and draw lines on it to reproduce an image before they began to paint.
Right.
Nowadays, they basically photograph stuff, they digitally print it on the canvas, they get a start, and then they take it from there. In addition to that, they're getting images from all over the world.
Right.
They don't even have to go to those locations. So sometimes they'll take images from 3 or 4 different countries, and they'll basically combine them in a montage and create a composition that is worldly, but they can do it all from their own studio.
Yeah. So the WWAB.
WWAB is Worldwide Art Books.
Oh.
And
See this bad boy.
these books are available at the museum. Actually, they're a $95 book on Amazon, but we give them away free with a $30 membership.
That's a year?
Annual
Yearly
membership.
or
Yeah,
monthly?
annual membership
Annual.
is only $30.
The way this
So
look,
you
though,
can see
is-
we're not in it for the money, right?
Yeah.
So
From looking through the books, you definitely see a lot of high quality and great art, different art sculptures, and it's amazing. Especially now how this world is definitely changing at a fast, super fast pace. So you definitely taking it back to where what is really important, you know. And I appreciate it. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
I really do.
well, just remember the Metropolitan Gallery of Las Vegas. We're the best kept secret in Vegas. At this particular point, we haven't gone public, and actually, this little interview is the first time we stepped out of our comfort zone. So,
let's get it.
okay.
Hey. So let's so Wednesday to Saturday, noon to 5 p.m.
Correct. Wednesday through Saturday, noon to 5 p.m. Saturdays are free.
Yeah.
You can come into the museum, check us out. Okay. I'm sure that when you finally make your rounds through it, and when you get a chance to talk to us about all the events that are coming up, that you'll be inspired enough to say that, you know, this is a pretty good gamble. This is something I could do.
Right. All right.
And people really enjoy the museum because unlike Eastern museums where you come in and you walk around, just look, and you leave, and it's sort of quiet, we don't do that.
Right.
Because this is Vegas.
Right.
Okay? And our museum isn't, you know, it isn't a Greek revival building with white columns. You walk into it, and it's a 20-foot ceiling, and we have neon lights across the entire ceiling.
Right.
Because originally, the facility we were in used to be a food court of all things.
Right.
Okay? But a museum in Vegas can set its own standard.
Right.
It doesn't have to copy museums from around the world. We're from Vegas. We break all the rules.
Yes, sir.
We reinvent ourselves.
Yes, sir.
And it's the city of the future.
Okay.
And so should the museum be.
Yeah.
So,
Mr. Mark Waller, thank you very much for coming out.
yep.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Preston.
Yes.